hope that it's one of your favorites. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Joe Stafford. Joe Stafford.
Matthews goes up again and makes a huge catch.
Oh, look at Chris Mann. Hey, MVP.
What my dog Stafford looking like out there, man?
Stafford, he definitely got a swag about him.
Downfield as Matthews reaches out, makes the catch. Oh, reach up caught. It is Matthews for a touchdown. Chris Matthews. We're watching a star be born.
That guy right now is your MVP.
What up, Joe? It's Wooly McGinnis, three-time Super Bowl champion with the New England Patriots, and I know about the Stafford and Matthews podcast and how hard you grind and work, and you're seeing the fruits of your labor.
And welcome back to Stafford and Matthews, episode 33. As always, your host, Joe Stafford, Chris Matthews, and intern Kevin in the building. If you haven't checked it out yet, because we've been a couple weeks without a show, that's partially on me, partially on my school's Wi-Fi network. I'll get into that in a second. But if you haven't seen our last show, it was a studio show featuring Chris and myself in live action in Reading, Massachusetts. Special shout out to 41st Casanova, media outlet. They did a phenomenal job recording us in video, both video and audio. It was phenomenal. It looked great. Very, very excited and very, very excited to keep working with them in the future. I can't talk right now. I don't know what it is. I've had a really tiring day, and it's taken a lot of toll on me. It really has. Chris, you might have to carry the show today.
I'm with it, man. I'm more than with it because there's some things that I've been wanting to get off my chest about a couple players that you don't necessarily like.
Let me guess. Is the first one Kirk Cousins?
It has to be.
It has to be.
It has to be. That is my guy. He is the
one.
Well,
get it off your chest. Let's go.
He's been plugging away. He's been plugging away this whole time. I'm talking about key first down throws, big throws down the field. You know, you got everybody in the end game that's all hitting. Honestly, they all look like they're all in unison, like they're in week 3. And it's all, I mean, they look like they're in week 8 and it's already week 3. Like they look like a team that's ready to turn a new leaf over as a whole for the Vikings. And I'm just saying, you don't like Kirk Cousins. And to me, it looked like he did everything that he could do to put his team over the top.
Okay, well, let's get this off the chest first. One game does not make a man. I think we all know that by now. The NFL is any given Sunday for a reason. Kirk Cousins is still an average quarterback at the end of the day. I don't care what you have to say about it. He is the definition of average. That's why he can't win the playoffs. That's why he can't win consistently over a period of multiple seasons. He can't do it. You want to know why? Because he's not that talented. That's why. And he does not have the clutch gene either. And that's been very made apparent throughout his entire career and will continue to be made apparent throughout the rest of his career before he retires because that's just who he is. He's an average quarterback that has semi-decent games every once in a while, teases people by saying that he's the legit quarterback, he's actually going to be the guy that they need to lead into the playoffs. He never turns into that guy. It's a fairy tale every single year. Look at his record. That's how. Look at his history. That's all you have to see. How many playoff wins does he have?
His last game, he threw 3 touchdowns. The game before that, he threw 2 touchdowns. The first game he had 351 yards, and then the second game he threw for 244. His completion percentage was 68%. The first game of the season, he was a 73% completion. Where are we? I'm not. Can I scroll down? Let me scroll down to just the years. I'm looking 71% over the 2001. 2000. I mean, I'm sorry, not 2001. 2021, 2022. He was 67%. 2019 he was 69%, 2018 he was 70. Like, come on, man. Like, these are numbers that your guy is in that ballpark of. So how Chris, is he?
What's his playoff record?
That you can't put that all on the quarterback.
If you've been to the playoffs 3 times and you haven't advanced past the divisional round, what does that make you?
That doesn't you can't say that and put that all on the quarterback like there's no defense that needs to be played or like there wasn't no injured players in his time.
I'll tell you what it makes him. It makes him a loser. That's what it makes him. It makes Kirk Cousins a bona fide career loser. That's what he is. the worst quarterback ever? No, he's not. Am I too harsh on him a lot of the time? Yes, 100%. But it's for the comedic effect almost. I know Kirk Cousins doesn't suck at football, point blank, period. He's just a very, very average quarterback, and I will never concede that position because it's what he is. He's not going to get elite suddenly at 30, whatever how old he is, 31. He's not going to become elite just because he has a couple good games. That's not how it works. He's an average quarterback on an average team. He might make the wild card, then lose before the divisional. That is his ceiling. That would always happen. That will continue to happen until he retires.
So it's just purely because he doesn't win. It's not because of his stats or anything else. It's just because he's on a team that doesn't win that makes him a loser.
Great quarterbacks make their team win.
Okay. So do you have anything to say about Joe Flacco?
He won a Super Bowl.
Once.
Once. Yeah, he won. But he won, Chris. But so he won.
So Kirk Cousins come out and win this year. He's considered a great quarterback.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. Now you about to round me up now. You about to round me up now.
It's a pretty simple concept.
You get one championship. Nothing else matters. Stats, nothing else matters. Just as long as you win, you're the greatest. Nothing else matters.
Chris, if you can win and bring your team to the playoffs and carry that team, you're a good quarterback at least for that year.
Okay, so I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure I'm in understanding of your criteria of a great quarterback and a sucky quarterback. Great quarterbacks, you just got to win. Sucky quarterbacks, you don't win no chance. You don't have any championships, right?
No, I didn't say that. I did not necessarily say that.
Well, I'm trying to figure it out because now I'm thinking back and I'm thinking about Nick Foles. He should be a great quarterback too, then, right?
For that season, yeah, that playoff run, he was phenomenal. He was.
I mean, just great overall. Overall, that's what I'm trying to get at because I'm looking at this guy, Kirk Cousins stats over the career, and his touchdowns are ridiculous. 35, 26, 30, 27, 25, 29, 10. Like, come on, Joe. Like you can't sit there and say just because he doesn't have a Super Bowl under his belt, he's a sorry quarterback. Come on, man.
Okay, let's go down these stats and analyze because let's make sure you're actually
please.
content. Okay, so every time outside of 2019 when he had more than 25 touchdowns, he threw double-digit picks.
Okay.
Every single time.
Okay. What does that mean?
Does it not concern you?
Obviously, it doesn't concern the NFL. Right. Jameis Winston had what? How many picks did he have 2 years ago?
Okay, great. Why are you comparing Jameis Winston if you want to make a case for him to be a good quarterback? Jameis Winston is a good quarterback. He's an average quarterback.
I think he's a. Okay, I'll go with that. I'm not
exactly.
Say that,
yeah. Okay. But you want to get the stats, right?
You can't have double digit picks and not be good. Let's talk about Brett Favre. Let's look. You want to pull up Brett Favre stats?
Yeah. If you want to call Kirk Cousins Brett Favre, I'll hop off the brain right now. I'm not doing this.
You know what?
If you're gonna compare Kirk Cousins to Brett Favre, might as well lead the podcast now. I might as well. If you're going to compare those two.
Who do you want to compare? I compare somebody who's lesser than him, and I compare somebody who's greater than him.
Now, compare an average quarterback to an average quarterback.
Okay, then who else you want to talk about? What about
How about Jimmy Garoppolo?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh wait. Oh, well, actually, hold on a second. Jimmy Garoppolo actually went to a Super Bowl, so he's actually better than Kirk Cousins.
Did he win?
He did. Did you win?
Who won? Me? Come on, man. My team has trophies. Damn it! I don't want to hear that.
No, I know. All right, let's back to the Kirk Cousins argument because I want to read some of the stats. You brought up the analytics. I didn't. I'll dive into the analytics right now. All those seasons you said 29 touchdowns, 25, 27, 30, 26, 35. Let's go what the records are for those years. 9-7, 8-7-1, 7-9, 8-7-1, 10-5, 7-9, 0-2. And that's this year. If you're going 500 pretty much every year, you're an average quarterback. The numbers prove it. Great quarterbacks will their team to win. That's the bottom line. Every great done it. Drew Brees did it. Aaron Rodgers did it. Tom Brady did it. Brett Favre did it. All of these quarterbacks have done it. Kirk Cousins is not a great quarterback.
Mac Jones don't pan out for you. First off, I want to know, what is your timeline on Mac Jones for him?
Oh, that's a good question. Okay, if we're gonna transition completely, I was at the first game, his first start ever. I was at Gillette Week 1. It was a phenomenal game. We lost the game, but that I don't really put that on Mac Jones. Damian Harris fumbled away the game on like the 6-yard line. We're about to score and win the game, so I don't really put that on him. In terms of how he's looked the first 2 weeks of his career, I think he's looked phenomenal. He knows what he does well, and he sticks to his guns. That's what he does. He doesn't reach out. He doesn't branch out to things he's not good at. He's not a Patrick Mahomes guy, not a Lamar Jackson guy. He's a sit in the pocket, make the easy throw and the easy decision, and he knows what he's talking about. That's what Belichick loves to do. That's what the Patriots system is predicated on, what's fundamented on. I think he's doing a phenomenal job in that role.
Is it successful though? Like how successful? No, I'm not going to say that because it is successful. How successful is that for him?
Okay, so I'll clarify one thing. It's definitely not sexy. I will say
it's about sexy. Just get the job done.
So here's the thing. Because a lot of people, especially Patriots fans, after Tom Brady, after they had the Cam Newton experiment, they're not excited by the offense, right? There's not a lot of great talent on the offensive side of the football.
Right.
Outside Damian Harris, I'll say Damian Harris is a great talent running back. He's kind of up and coming a little bit, and you have the tight ends and everything, but they're still not superstar status. So it's kind of an issue of star power. Regardless of star power, though, the system has been working. It worked against the Dolphins. Yeah, there was some kinks and everything, but it wasn't anything crazy. Week 2 looked great against the Jets. Granted, it was the Jets, but it still worked phenomenally. I think the ground and pound play action game, the short pass game, the screen game, it all works because it's easy completions. It's high percentage plays. Mac Jones is good at completing balls to wide open guys. Screens are a good idea for that. Slants, downfield seam routes that are wide open in cover 2. That's what he did in Alabama. That's what he's gonna do in the pros. That's how it's gonna work. And yeah, I understand I was harsh on him coming out of the draft, and for good reason. I wanted Justin Fields, and whether I'm wrong or right about that, we can debate that over the next 5-6 years or 10 years, depending on how long these guys' careers last. Mm-hmm. But as of right now, I'm impressed with Mac Jones. I like what he's doing so far. I'm impressed with what he's doing in the system, and I'm looking forward to seeing him play more.
Okay, but how long are you going to give him until it's just completely, I'm jumping ship, I'm off of Mac Jones? If it doesn't, how long?
3 years, 4 years.
3-4 years, and then it's just completely over with. So then he would end up becoming an average quarterback. So let me ask you a question. What if Mac Jones came out first year, let's say he throws 12 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. What would you call that?
A terrible first year.
Okay. Second year, 24 touchdowns, 17 interceptions.
So I can essentially reading off Pro Football Reference right now, and I'm going to guess this is maybe Brett Favre's starting line. It's either going to be Favre's or maybe Namath. But your point made. You're comparing him to a great quarterback, right? Who's the quarterback?
I'm absolutely not comparing him to a great quarterback. I'm comparing him to another average quarterback that you said can't do anything. He's putting up double-digit touchdowns and has double-digit interceptions. Ryan Tannehill, another guy you don't like.
Yeah, he was horrible in Miami.
Another guy you don't like. And I'm still going. He's still going up. His numbers, his touchdowns were going up. And he still had double-digit touchdown. Double-digit interceptions. And he's still going out there leading the charge. Now, I don't care if it's the worst team or the best team or a middle-tier team. Somebody wanted him. He is good. He is a good quarterback, and obviously is showing. This is his third year on the Texans. On the Titans, and he's proven that he is a great quarterback for them. So I'm trying to figure out, how is it that Kirk Cousins isn't a good quarterback? That's what I'm just trying to figure out.
So most people in the personnel department for scouting or for player development usually set a timetable around 4 or 5 years to see what a person has in their tank. And by then, there's very few exceptions to that rule where they come out and break out, become a completely different person. different player after that 5-year period. Most of the time, within those 5 years, you understand who that player is, what our limitations are, and what he can do ultimately bring to the table. That's a pretty universally held timeline. So that's why I said 4 years. There are exceptions. Ryan Tannehill revived his career in Tennessee. It's been done before, but it's not common. And so I think it's unfair to compare Mac Jones to that or even Kirk Cousins to that because you know what Kirk Cousins is. I would argue you know what Ryan Tannehill is too.
No, you would. That's why I brought him up, and I didn't say anything until you started talking. I wanted to know because this is a guy. His numbers has went up increasingly every year. He's done got better. 81%. Then he had 2014. He was a 92% quarterback rating, and then it went back down to 88. Then it jumps right back up. 93, 92, 111, 117, 106. Like. Things can happen. All I'm saying is that Kirk Cousins deserves a little bit more credit than what you're giving him because he is a good quarterback for that team, and I believe that they can make it if they stay healthy. Because that's been the Vikings' problem in all is that they can't stay healthy when it's time for them to really put their talents to the test. Every year, defense goes down, running back goes down. Doesn't have any receivers. Thielen is the only healthy one, but we know that it's only so much that he can do. Like give Kirk Cousins a team that stays healthy throughout the regular season and gets to the postseason. I believe that he can actually get it done because that defense is just that good. And we all know for you to be great out here, i.e., you guys' quarterback who is in Tampa Bay right now has done had his whole career. All you have to do is have a good defense, and then you stay healthy throughout the regular season. You can become great, right?
Oh, bro. So to your point, I think it definitely has to be a good environment for a quarterback or any player in general to thrive. You need to have good coaching, good people around you, a good foundation, good stability in your franchise. Yeah. I understand that, and that's something people don't talk about that enough. I think a lot of college players end up busting the NFL if they were in a different scenario, on a different team, in a different conference, different division, however you want to say it, would be stars, but they weren't because they were in the wrong situation. Point taken. Even so, those players that don't work out, that maybe could have worked out on different teams, still don't possess that ultimate talent. They're not the greats because if they did have great talent and they were a great football player, they would thrive regardless of circumstance, right? There's been a lot of great quarterbacks on a lot of crappy teams, i.e. Matt Stafford. We didn't doubt Matt Stafford's ability. We doubted his team's ability. I think it's heinous to compare a guy like Matt Stafford and Kirk Cousins, even though they've both been on horrible football teams. I think it's universally held that Matt Stafford's been a much better quarterback than Kirk Cousins.
Right.
So that's the kind of comparison I want to go off of. And before we close this argument, because I think we do need to close the argument to move on to some other stuff, let's look at Ryan Tannehill's record too. 7-9, 8-8, 8-8, 6-10, 8-5, 5-6, 7-3, 1-1, and the outlier last year was 11-5 because of Derrick Henry. That sounds eerily similar to what Kirk Cousins' line was too. Am I right or am I right?
You're right.
So great quarterbacks will their team to win. Average quarterbacks will their team to 500 or a little bit better.
So what is Drew Brees? I'm not even going to argue this. You just tell me what it is, and I'll let it go.
Drew Brees is one of the best quarterbacks of all time.
But how many Super Bowls does he have?
One.
Okay. And so what happened throughout those other years? He just couldn't will them to the championship, or what?
No, but he willed them to great regular season records and chances to win a Super Bowl. Kirk Cousins has never done that. Ryan Tannehill's never done that.
But I thought it was to get there and win. You will your team to win.
Well, on vice versa, you need to win to even have a chance to win the big game, correct? So if you don't win in the regular season, you can't win in the playoffs because you won't make the playoffs.
Yeah, regular season is a moral win. We're not working off of morals. We're working off of what's the fact.
Okay, you want to look at the facts? Look at these records compared to the other guys and tell me if you hear a difference in opinion, right? Let's start with his Super Bowl year, 2009. 13-2, 11-5, 13-3, 11-5, 7-9, 11-5, 13-2. These are all phenomenal records with one or two outlier years.
Yes.
To win to get to the playoffs, you need to win the regular season. To win the regular season, most quarterbacks have to will their team to a victory. It's all circumstantial, I agree.
He has won Super Bowl.
But he won, and he got chances to his first team to win more.
All right, Joe, go ahead, man.
Has Kirk Cousins ever done that?
Go ahead, man.
Has Ryan Tannehill ever done that? The answer is no.
It ceases to amaze me how I came in here.
The answer is no.
I'm about to flame Joe and get his blood boiling, and then you turn around and you find a way to flip this to have my blood boiling over here, all because you want to call Drew Brees a legend, which he is in a sense, but doesn't have the win record just like the other two don't. They don't have the championships.
I just read the records. They're completely different.
Those are moral victories, Joe. We don't go off of moral victories. We go off of, did you win a Super Bowl? Did you not win a Super Bowl?
Yes, Drew Brees won a Super Bowl, so what are you talking about?
He has one, but you said that he has.
How many does Kirk have? How many does Tannehill have?
You said you have to will, as a great quarterback, you have to will your team.
Will your team, yes.
So how if he only has one?
Because
what happened to all those other years? What happened?
We're going in circles here, dude. We're going in circles. He brought his team to the playoffs. He brought his team to the playoffs almost every single year. Brought them almost every single year. He gave them a shot to win.
And what happened?
He won a Super Bowl.
He won. And what happened to the rest of them?
He lost.
Because of what? Injuries? Or what? Or his gameplay?
It was a combination of both.
But Ryan Tannehill and Kirk Cousins can't be on a team with hurt players or bad coaching. You can't do that though. You can't get him leeway because they don't have that one Super Bowl. That's crazy, Joe. Come on, man. I'm ready to.
Okay. I would love to hear the comments on this if we had a live stream going because of all the nonsense spilling out of your mouth right now. I would love to hear it.
I'm not saying that Kirk Cousins or Ryan Tannehill is better than Drew Brees. Not saying that. I'm saying they need more respect on their names than what you're giving them because they are good quarterbacks. That's the reason why they are getting paid and they are staying on these teams for longer than 3-4 years.
Hey, Kev, how's your week going?
Well, what about Dan Marino?
Dan Marino is a great example of an outlier. A great example.
Okay, that's true. I have nothing to go against that.
Never got the job done, but great example of a great quarterback who didn't win. Great example.
And a quarterback I just thought of that kind of reminds me of Kirk Cousins.
Phenomenal example.
Bledsoe?
It really, really is.
No. But he's seen as much better. Phillip Rivers.
Rivers.
Yeah, for sure. But y'all called him the greatest thing walking. Leave it to y'all.
Phillip Rivers was a good quarterback. Was he great? No, but he was good.
I feel like he's seen as like a Hall of Fame status.
Yeah, is he going to go in the Hall of Fame? That's a question.
Phillip Rivers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think he's going to make the Hall of Fame. I don't think so, no.
He probably cuss his way all the way up in there.
Yeah, probably. No, he doesn't swear. He borderline.
Oh no, yeah. That's right.
He'll scream. He'll scream like frick.
Smack, though. I'll say that he'll talk smack all the way.
No,
up.
he does. But he doesn't swear. Him and Kirk both say like frick and like darn it and all like the borderline swears. It's really funny. Okay, let's talk about one more thing, or a couple more things anyway. What's going on with Trevor Lawrence?
What's going on, bro?
Well, this is his stat line so far from his first couple of games. So week 1.
Did he throw a touchdown in the first game or no?
No, can I talk?
All right, you about to don't come from my team, bro.
Okay, at Houston, 28 to 51, 54% completion percentage, 332 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 3 picks. It's his first game. He almost won. It is what it is. Denver, 14 of 33, 42% completion percentage, 118 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. That was a horrific game. I want to call one thing out in particular. I think Urban Meyer is going to ruin this guy's career.
Okay.
I think Urban Meyer is going to screw Trevor Lawrence.
I think that in the grand scheme of things, yes, it might turn out to be a bad situation for Trevor Lawrence, all because, and let's just be real here, throughout history, coaches that come from college don't necessarily pan out right away. They either go out, they get their ass whooped, and then they have to come back. I mean, they go back to college and then they come back to the NFL and they make a career of themselves. So you might be on to something right here. I don't think it would be intentional because I think that Coach Myers knows exactly what he's doing, and I think that he is a very smart coach. I just think that because that you've been on the college side for so long, it's kind of hard to translate over to the NFL.
I think that's a fair point as well. But I feel bad for the guy. He's getting sacked like a mother explosive. He's under fire pretty much the entire game. His receivers outside of Marvin Jones have been nothing short of a disappointment. I understand Travis Etienne's out. That would have definitely helped his development a little bit as a rookie, especially playing with him at Clemson. And James Robinson has been pretty much a bust.
Mm-hmm.
And so the things just aren't coming together for Lawrence the way they should be. I feel bad for the guy. But I really do think Urban Meyer's going to ruin this guy. And I really hope they fix that or Urban fixes his coaching style immediately. Because if not, he's either going to get Lawrence hurt before week 8 or his confidence is going to be busted for the rest of his career. We need to figure this out.
Bring back Tim Tebow. I'm starting it up.
Hey, let's hire Tebow as a coach at this point.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what? As a team chaplain.
Team chaplain, personal trainer to Trevor Lawrence, whatever it needs to be, he needs to come back and teach this boy how to win, because that's one thing that Tebow was good at, and that was winning.
Let's just hope he's not the quarterback's coach, though. I don't need Tebow messing with Lawrence's mechanics.
Don't tell me how to throw. Just show me. Just give me the mindset. I don't need you to show me how to throw.
I'm fairly certain Tebow's release was an extra second and a half to 2 seconds longer than Lawrence's is. I'm dead serious. Lawrence doesn't have the quickest release ever either. I think Tebow just had to wind it up like a softball pitch.
Right.
Like a Nucleus pitch.
I think it's sometimes I feel like because these kids, and I don't know, honestly I don't know anything about Trevor Lawrence from before his college days, or where he played at or anything like that, but just the understanding of he's never lost a regular season game until
which
now.
Is psychotic to think about anyway.
It is, but then that tells me also is that also leads me to questions like, what kind of competition was he going against? To never have a loss ever. You've never went through any adversity where you felt like, oh, damn, I got to bounce back from this. You've never went through that. So now you're talking about you're in the NFL where everybody is the man, not just here and there, and you're great throughout your whole state. No, everybody was great at one point in time, and now they're all on the same field. And you lose 2 regular season games, and that's the big story, is that he done lost games in the regular season.
Right, that's a good point too, because I think you hit the nail on the head there. Without adversity, there's no triumph.
It's hard.
And without tribulation, there isn't a triumph. So it's a really good point there. And I think that might be a little bit of the effect he's going through right now. It's winner syndrome, and I think he doesn't know how to lose yet. Yeah. If you don't know how to lose well in the NFL, you're going to be in trouble, because it's not an easy game to win and consistently win. And I think you know that better than anybody. But yeah, it's crazy. Okay, let's check in on the rest of the rookies here, because I'm feeling real good about Mac Jones right now, because the rest of the field is looking just icky. That's the word I'm going to use, icky. Zach Wilson, let's go over his career for the breakdown. 39 for 70, 468 yards, 2 touchdowns, 5 pick, 4 of which came against my New England Patriots last week, and 3 of them came within his first 5 passes. That was the funniest thing ever. I have to say, it was laughable to see what Zach Wilson was doing on Sunday against my Patriots. But I feel bad for the kid for a certain point. But at the same time, I did try to tell you guys he was a project player, and going second overall without a veteran, presence besides, is Joe Flacco there? I think Joe Flacco's in New York with him, right?
Yeah.
Is it Flacco?
Yes.
He was here last year. I'll double check because I want to make sure that I'm not misquoting this. No, because he's on the Eagles now. Who's the backup for the Jets?
Josh Johnson. I don't think there's any veterans there.
Is it Josh Johnson?
I think that's what Google's saying.
I need to figure this out. That's what Google's saying?
Yeah.
So Josh Johnson, who was drafted first overall by XFL, I believe. That's kind of funny. But yeah, there's no real veteran presence up there for Wilson to kind of learn under. Rookie quarterback in New York with a first-year head coach. This was going to be a disaster from the start. Like that is not a recipe to win or even show some progress for rookie quarterback. That was going to be a no-win situation regardless. But I told you from the jump he was a project player. I told you he wasn't NFL ready yet, and so far I've been right. It's 2 weeks in. That's very, very short timetable for him to expand and learn and progress. But off the jump, I'm telling you what I said earlier and what I said at the combine and what I'm saying now was correct. So, Chris, this is my question to you. Lawrence, Wilson, and Jones are really the only players we can actually grade for rookie stuff, right? Because Lance came in for like 2 plays, week 1 threw a touchdown, great, whatever. But you saw him for like 5 snaps, so it doesn't really count. And Justin Fields came in for relief of Andy Dalton when he got hurt for the second half. He scored a touchdown his first game. Played just okay in the second half. He had to relieve Andy Dalton in. So my question is this: out of the 3 eligible rookie quarterbacks we're talking about, so Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and Mac Jones, who's the best quarterback right now?
Trevor Lawrence.
Give me a fucking break. It's Mac Jones.
How? He
doesn't turn the ball over and he won.
Over here acting like he's 40 years old right now. Can't throw the ball past 10 yards. Come on, man. Give me a break.
Chris, who has more turnovers, Wilson and Lawrence or Jones?
Give me a break because he's doing good. He's on a good. You literally just said this in the beginning of this show. It's hard for a quarterback to do anything when he's drafted on the wrong team. A lot of these quarterbacks is drafted on the wrong team, i.e., Zach Wilson. I think that is a terrible team for him to go to and to start his career off. But hey, he's there. Mac Jones is on a good team. Generally speaking, the Patriots are a good team. No matter what, put aside the last 2 years, he is on a very good defense, a really great coaching staff. Like, how do you not win? But he's only throwing the ball 5-10 yards. Like, he's not throwing the ball down the field. And to bring back another player who's only won 1 Super Bowl throughout his whole career, Drew Brees. It's another guy who was walking around here, and he even admitted to himself on one of those shows. I forgot what it was because I was watching TV and I was having a good time with my family and drinking. But he also admitted that he wasn't able to throw the ball down the field, and he was a detriment to his own team. So at one point in time, it's going to come where throwing the ball past, not throwing the ball past 10 to 15, 20 yards is going to hurt. And then we're going to have a totally different conversation from you guys about, oh man, we need to go draft another dude because Mac Jones ain't doing nothing. And you know what? I said that in the beginning that he wasn't good, and now he's doing good for the first 2 weeks. And then you're gonna turn around and turn your back on him again. Y'all are some fickle players. Y'all some fickle fans over there.
Do I sound like that?
That's exactly what you guys do, man.
I feel like I don't sound like that. I don't know. Just give Mac Jones some credit. He's played very, very smart, fundamental football.
Yes,
and he's played better than Trevor Lawrence. He's played better than Zach Wilson.
He's been
better. The best.
Who's the best, though?
Right now, it's Mac Jones.
All right, Joe.
Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence haven't recorded a single win in the NFL.
No, they haven't.
Mac Jones hasn't had a turnover in the NFL.
You're right.
Mac Jones has thrown touchdowns in the NFL. Well, so have Lawrence and Wilson, but he's won doing it. Give the kid some credit. I want to hear you compliment Mac Jones.
Go ahead, man. I'm telling you, Joe. I'm telling you, Mac Jones, he's doing good for week 2. I like.
Okay. All right. That's the most I'm gonna get out of him. So I'll just stop the conversation. I'm not gonna get anything good out of him anyway. Okay. Fantasy update. Chris, how's the team looking?
Oh man, we're looking bad right now because I am so mad at Justin Herbert right now. I made sure I was like, nobody's gonna pick this guy up. Everybody's gonna pass him up. I'm gonna wait till round 7, 8, and I'll be able to pick this guy up, and he's gonna blow the top off. He got all these players on his team. They're all gonna do great. And then, actually, you know what? Let me stop that because I was just rooting for quarterbacks, and I'm about to put this all on the team. Collectively, as a Chargers organization, a team who steps on that field every game, day in and day out, are doing terrible right now, and the coaches are doing a terrible job at putting their team. Putting onus on their team and allow them to answer for their mistakes. Because there's no way that you should have all these penalties going against your team, and there's nothing to be said. Not even a roundup at the 50-yard line, like, hey, get your shit together, a pep talk, anything like that. None of that. It's bad, and it's making me mad because my team is suffering from it, because not only do I have Justin Herbert, but I got Keenan Allen, who's out here committing penalties left and right on himself. Like, you literally just had the ball come to you. They was gonna call a penalty, but you over here woofing. Like, come on. It's making me mad, Joe. My fantasy team is making me mad right now. And of course, now you really got me going. Alvin Kamara gives me 5 points throughout a whole game, when he literally just last year had 6 touchdowns in one game. Now he gives me 5 points. And then Jonathan Taylor, who I feel like is an emerging star for real, running and passing. He's probably the closest thing to Christian McCaffrey when it comes to being able to run and catch. And he gives me 5 points. I'm like, what's going on, man? Like, am I doing something wrong? Am I doing the wrong coaching around here? I don't understand it.
How's my team doing? Oh, thanks for asking. Appreciate that. So I'm in 3 leagues right now. I'm going to focus on for the whole season for this podcast. I'm going to focus on this one league. And that's because it's all my friends from college went down to a bar in Manchester. Shout out to North Garden. Mm-hmm. And we did an in-person draft. And it was the most insufferable thing for me to experience in my life, because some of them don't pay attention to football, and I know I do this, obviously. So every 5 seconds, hey, Joe, just like out of curiosity, like, what would you do if you were drafting right here? Like, every pick. And we only did 9 rounds because I couldn't take it anymore. We were supposed to do like 18. I could not take it anymore. And I nailed the draft board in my wall in my living room. I thought it was the funniest thing ever. But my team's looking good.
I knew it, Joe. You're out here finessing these games. You're out here finessing fantasy.
I ain't finessing anything.
People with the wrong information while you take up everybody and you win.
My God.
Hey, Cam, do you know what this guy told me when we were sitting in his car when I was out there in Massachusetts? Yeah, man, I done won 3 years in a row. No wonder why you won 3 years in a row.
No, I won my first 3 years in a row in fantasy.
Oh, yeah, no wonder.
My first 3 years in a row.
No
but anyway,
wonder.
Okay, let me read my team. I'm proud of my team. Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Justin Jefferson, Terry McLaurin, Jonnu Smith, Keenan Allen, Chiefs D, and the Chargers kicker. That is a wheelhouse. That's a wagon. That's a wagon. Guess the name of my team.
What, the Patriots lovers?
No, Mike Vick's dogs.
Well, hey, according to America, they ain't gonna be there too much longer.
I guess not, but I thought it was a pretty good name, so I kept it. I was like, I liked it. I've had it for a while. But anyway, I love the team right now. I'm 1-1. I shouldn't be. I really should be more than that. But I kicked my roommate's ass last week. It was embarrassing. I won by 50 points. Literally 50 points. I put up like 147 because Derrick Henry put 48 points on the board for me. So thank you, King Henry. You saved my ass for fantasy. But it was awesome. Mad. What?
It makes me mad because I was literally the 4th pick. And the 4th pick came down to who is you going to pick first, Kamara or King Henry. And before the draft, we was even thinking about the draft, I was like, I'm taking Derrick Henry. No, off top. But then Alvin Kamara just drops in my lap because the 2nd pick, he instead of choosing the running back, he chooses Devontae Adams. So I'm like, oh well, wait, hold up now. What's going on? Now I have a real tough decision to make. Take Kamara or take King Henry. And what I take Kamara, and now I'm suffering for it.
And I was playing New England this week. It's gonna be a tough game too.
He's gonna go on the bench. He's going.
I wouldn't put him on the bench. I would put him on the bench, but
he's going on the bench.
Look to trade him.
I don't know about that now. He's my
whatever.
first pick. I don't even think I could trade him. He's my first overall pick.
That's fair enough. I want to talk about this now too. The amount of injuries in the NFL right now is ridiculous. Yeah. Like it's really getting, to quote to Marcus Cousins, it's getting ridiculous. It's really, really ridiculous. It really is. Odell Beckham Jr., Jarvis Landry, both receivers of the Browns, out. Mm-hmm. Tyrod Taylor, who continues to have the coldest streak of injuries / unfortunate happenings in NFL history, out for 3 weeks. Rookie quarterback coming in, Mills, I guess his name is, right?
Yeah.
I think it's Mills.
Davis Mills.
And watch him, Davis Mills, and watch him become the next Baker Mayfield or Justin Herbert. Like, that is just Tyrod Taylor's luck. we need to start a fundraiser for when he inevitably goes bankrupt from him getting his pay cuts being tossed out the window. I'm telling you right now, his bonuses are going to be slashed in half because he's not going to start half the games he was supposed to, and it sucks. Fundraiser for Tyrod Taylor. We need to figure out some ideas for that. I'll shave my head. We'll do something like that. I'll get a tattoo, Tyrod Pride, T-Mobile, something like that. That'd be kind of funny. We need to help Tyrod Taylor out. Solidarity. We got to help this guy out.
Well, call it a day.
Well, maybe that's probably a better answer for you. I probably should do that too. But the amount of injuries we've seen so far is staunch. Dalvin Cook even hurt his ankle and his shoulder. He might be out. Josh Jacobs is out as well, or at least for the foreseeable future, he's out. Saquon might be out. Ryan Fitzpatrick off another few weeks with Taylor Heineke coming in. And it's just, you hate to see it, too, because it just lessens the ability of the NFL to be enjoyed. Because if you have all these guys healthy, it makes the league more competitive. It makes it better. It makes it more fun to watch. And you're watching backups you don't want to watch. They're going to lose the football game. It's not fun. It really isn't fun. So a prayer to all those guys I mentioned to get better soon. And yeah. Also, before I forget, before we close the show out, I want to talk about one thing. Our website's officially dropping in the next couple of days. Our business manager from Arizona, Mike, the silent assassin, Merch Mandaro, is putting together a website. Just a couple more stuff to clean up on the website. We'll be dropping very, very soon with our first official merch drop of the new year. Got a lot of great designs coming for you guys coming up really, really soon, including a couple of really, really good ones. I really am proud of myself on some of the ones I made in the last few weeks here. I showed Kevin, Chris the other day. Chris didn't like one of the designs. And I'll give you a hint why. Listen to the first 10 minutes of this show. But besides that, I think they came out really, really well. And obviously the stuff you got, English is hard. The stuff we wore on our show in studio when we were both in person, the stuff we were modeling is also part of the merch drop. Some CM13 brand stuff for Chris, as well as the new Stafford and Matthews logo dropping on all shirts, hats, and hoodies we have available to us. Check that out when it drops. We will give an announcement on our social media pages. Follow Stafford and Matthews on Instagram, TikTok, whatever the hell we're on. Kev, you're in charge of that. You can talk to them about that later. But yeah, just make sure you guys check that out and keep an eye out for that, because it will be really, really cool to see, and it's a big, big step for us in the right direction and us continuing our stride to be one of the best podcasts in the world. And it's getting there. Slowly but surely, it's getting there. And we had a meeting.
Train is still going.
Train's still going. And we had a meeting last week with a very major media company that was really, really cool to see and to hear about. And they appreciated what we had to say, and we also appreciate what they had to say. And it's going to be interesting to see if we can work in the future together. It was great. So we'll leave the door open, obviously, and it was very, very nice talking to those people. And we're very excited to see what we can do together collaboratively in the near future. So that was cool too. Chris, any final thoughts?
What do you think about the Ravens KC game? I thought for sure we would.
Oh, that's a good. Yeah. Okay. That. Ravens KC. Lamar Jackson gets his first regular season victory. Actually, first victory period against Patrick Mahomes. I thought it was a classic, almost an instant classic, with the fourth down conversion, Lamar running the ball, the whole Harbaugh wanting to go for it and Lamar wanting to go for it thing was a great storyline. I think Mahomes played a very, very good game. I think it just came down to coaching. I think Andy Reid mismanaged the game a little bit towards the end. He gave it in his hands of his punter, not in the hands of Patrick Mahomes. They ran the ball too much in the latter stages of the game. I think Mahomes should have taken over that game. I think he should have taken over that game. And if he had taken over that game, they would have won the game. But unfortunately, that's not how it ended up working out. Credit to Lamar Jackson for finally getting a victory over his foe there, Patrick Mahomes. Played a great football game, had more than a few highlight plays in that game. And I'm happy for Lamar. Is this a turning of the tide in their relationship? No. Patrick Mahomes is obviously the most dominant quarterback in the NFL and is clearly head over tails better than Lamar Jackson. So I'm happy for Lamar. This is not going to be a regular thing.
Yeah, I feel you, Joe. But I do want to say this. For everybody who keeps on talking about Lamar Jackson and that he can't throw the ball or he's not an elite quarterback because he doesn't sit in the pocket and throw the ball, this game proved it. One of the biggest games of his career. He's done did everything else. He's done went to the playoff. He's went to the playoffs, played big in the playoffs. He's done played big in regular season. He's done played against some of the elite teams that necessarily a quarterback in his stature or at his level of skill can't even get past. And he went out there and threw the ball not only good but great. Did he miss a couple throws? Yes, but a lot of quarterbacks do. So we can't sit up there and say that he didn't have an elite game this past game. And plus, with the win off of his not only his feet but his arm, he was the best of both worlds. A lot of people now they want to start trying to jump on the bandwagon and talking about, oh, he might be better than Michael Vick and all this other stuff. Damn all that. I don't want to hear none of that stuff because everybody was going against him and talking about his running. Talking about his throwing. Now he has everything that he needs, and plus Rashad Bateman. I think he comes back this weekend. If I'm not mistaken, but I think he comes back this weekend. Who was the clear-cut starting number one wide receiver throughout training camp until he got hurt, and that's big because you have a first-round draft pick in what's his name? I can't believe I'm drawing a blank.
Hollywood Brown?
No, not Hollywood Brown, but not
Sammy Watkins.
Him as well, but Sammy Watkins as well, who came in and was a beast coming into the NFL. And so now you have Rashad Bateman, who is head over heels better than both of these guys. He has the size, he has the speed, he has a hand catch. He has the catch radius. Like it's gonna be nasty for Baltimore. And I think personally, they're gonna keep on running the ball because that's just what the Ravens do. But I think when those key games come up, I think they're gonna allow him to throw the ball a little bit more than usual to throw teams off. So I want to take my hat off to Lamar Jackson and say that you played a hell of a game and you are an elite quarterback in my eyes.
Stephen A. Smith doesn't think so.
Listen, Stephen A. Smith, he needs to go get a hair implant. He needs to go with LeBron James where he goes and get his hair put on at. You need to fix your hairline. I don't care how old you are or how long you've been or how long he's been working for the Philadelphia Sun or wherever else he was working at, and then you transferred over here to fucking First Take. Nothing against you, bro. You have some great points. I like what you do. But that guy, Lamar Jackson, he is the one. And he needs to give him some more respect than that.
Stephen A. Smith looks like a Muppet from Sesame Street.
Yeah.
He does. He really does. He does.
Yeah.
But all due respect, Lamar Jackson, good quarterback, not great. He's an average passer, but he's a good quarterback. So I'll give him more credit than that because he's dual dimensional. I don't think he's an elite passer.
So nothing this past game shows you that he can be an elite quarterback.
No, I didn't say he couldn't be an elite quarterback. I said he's not an elite passer. There's a difference.
Well, right, because this is still the new year. This is only week 2. Give him the rest of the year. We'll find out after this year. I'll be on the bandwagon too. If he doesn't pan out this year and has a terrible quarterback rating after this year, I'm with you. He's not an elite quarterback. But right now, what he's showing me he's on that level to get there.
I'm just intrigued to see what it comes down to for playoff time, because I think the biggest knock on Lamar Jackson, at least for me personally, was his playoff record. It was, can he win in the playoffs? He's shown that he can get them there, which is that's the first step. That's if you can get a team to the playoffs, you're on the bandwagon to be a good quarterback if you can do it consistently. But if you can't win in the playoffs consistently, that's where your legacy starts to get tainted a little bit. And so I'm very intrigued to see what he can do in the playoffs, especially after a signature win like this so early in the season. His confidence is up. The entire team's confidence is up. Let's see if they can capitalize for the rest of the season. I'm intrigued to see that. Chris, any final thoughts?
Absolutely. No, man. Just go check out our new website that we got coming up. Once it drops, we'll make a big a big announcement on that. You can go in there and you can get your Joe Stafford books, math books and English books. Joe Stafford is posting up all of these things because school is tough and we need to make sure Joe is getting by comfortably.
We need to make a segment where Chris just says the most the most ridiculous shit merchandise. Just like, how do you get an HD camera? You just like advertise the stupidest things you can possibly think of, because you really do hit the mark every time with that. I remember last year we did that every single episode. I should say that was just.
I'm just trying to help you out, man. We need to create a cash app for you so we can get some people in here to donate and to help you out, so we can get your diploma, man. That's the biggest thing. You need to get your diploma, man.
I'm a senior. I'm almost there.
I'm gonna be right there. I'm coming to the graduation. You tell your parents.
I dare you to come to the graduation. I dare you.
Save me a ticket. I bet you I'll show up.
Chris, I will tear it up with you on Saturday at the school if you let me. I will let you tear it up with me. Kev, you can come too. I will let you tear it up with me. I will. Don't test me, because I will. I'll send your ass out here. I'm not lying. But anyway, Kevin, any final thoughts?
I got nothing coming to mind.
besides how much you miss us in the Cape?
Oh, of course. And yeah, I'm excited.
That was a great trip.
I'm excited for Mac Jones to be elite.
There we go.
Here we
go.
Here go Drew Bledsoe all over again.
Yeah, okay. We'll see about that anyway. All right, Stafford Matthews, episode 33 wrapping up. This will drop probably, what's today? Today is Wednesday the 22nd. This will probably drop Thursday the 23rd before Thursday Night Football starts. You know what we should do before we leave? Because we need to get back on track for this anyway. Let's do our game picks.
All right.
Because we didn't do it last week. We missed a show. Let's get on track. Let's do our game picks. All right, Thursday Night Football. Panthers, Texans. Chris, who are you taking?
I'm definitely taking the Panthers. The Panthers defense is A1 right now, and that's all that they need with Christian McCaffrey still out there being able to run and catch the ball. I'm going with the Panthers.
J.C. Horn's passer rating when targeted right now is 2.8%. It's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. Panthers, Texans, if it's T-Mobile starting, it might be a different conversation. He's not. This is Davis Mills' first start ever in the NFL. I'm going Carolina. Sam Darnold looks good. Robbie Anderson looks good, and that defense looks great. So I'm going to go with the Panthers there as well. 1 o'clock football, Sunday, September 26th. The New Orleans Saints versus the New England Patriots. Chris, who you got?
Who do you think? The Saints. I'm not going to pick the Patriots.
Is that an informed decision or more of a fuck you, Joe decision?
It might be both, but I'm going to stick with the informed decision.
Okay. All right, I'm going to the New England Patriots because I'm not an idiot, so I'm going to go with the Patriots. I think Mac Jones gets a signature win over a very experienced head coach in Sean Payton, and we start up the Mac Jones is the next Tom Brady hype train. I love to hear it. I want to see that come Sunday.
Hey,
Colts Titans Sunday 1 o'clock. Who you got?
I'm going with the Titans. I think King Henry is going to continue raining down on these lesser teams that are beneath them, with Julio Jones and AJ Brown out there making spectacular catches for him.
So I'm tempted to take the Colts here, but Carson Wentz is hurt.
Exactly.
If Carson Wentz is healthy there, I might take the Colts to upset just because of how great the interior defense of the Colts is with Darius Leonard, DeForest Buckner. I love their interior defense. And so I'd want to take the Colts if Wentz is healthy. He's not. I'm going with Tennessee for that reason, and that reason really much alone.
But let's keep
Sunday.
it real. Nobody's stopping Derrick Henry inside the tackle or outside the tackle.
No, I know, but it makes his job harder, so I think it's a little bit something to consider.
Yeah.
Falcons, Giants, 1 o'clock football. Who you got?
Giants. I think I think Matt Jones is going to be able to continue on playing the way that he's playing. You know, he's having a couple blunders here and there, but him and Sterling Shepard are looking like a great tandem right now, and I love watching them play catch out there.
Fun fact, Atlanta's allowing 40 points per game on defense, allowing 40 points per game. Matt Ryan really hasn't recovered from 2015 or 2016, has he? Like, he hasn't. Oh. And Tom didn't let him forget it either. He went 28-3 in like one of his videos before too. Like, this guy is ruthless. Off the Patriots, Brady's ruthless. He really is on social media.
I heard something on the news, and I don't know. I'm gonna keep my thoughts reserved. But somebody did say that maybe they made the wrong decision in letting go Julio Jones and not Matt Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, like I said last year, that was my whole theme pretty much the entire first season of the show. I was very anti Matt Ryan, Julio Jones. It was time for Atlanta to move on. They did half of the job, and now they're half of a team. So that'll tell you all you needed to know. For the game though, I'm going with the Falcons. They still have some talent offensively. Kyle Pitts, Calvin Ridley, Matt Ryan. Like, they're not a horrible offensive team. So their defense is just horrific. So I'm gonna go with the Falcons here with a squeaky victory. It's not gonna be a fun game to watch.
Yeah.
Chargers Chiefs, 1 o'clock football. Both 1-1. Who you got?
The Chiefs, hands down. I think they're going to bounce back with an amazing game. That's another game. Another game under Frank Clark's belt and the Honey Badgers belt, where they get to come back another game stronger and another game smarter, and they'll be able to continue on doing what they're doing and recap it on the defensive side.
See, this is one of my. I want to circle the game on my calendar. This is one of my most watchable games of Sunday football. Mm-hmm. This is a phenomenal duo that will be battling it back and forth for the next 10 years. Mahomes and Herbert are going to be great rivals. And I love the fact that they're in that same outlet down there. I'm going to go with the Chiefs here. But remember last year, Herbert almost beat Mahomes twice.
Yeah.
It was close both times. And Herbert lost last week by a field goal in Dallas. I'm going to go with the Chiefs here, but it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a fun game to watch. A very fun offensive game to watch. Yeah, very, very high-scoring game to watch. So I'm excited for that. Bengals-Steelers, 1 o'clock football. I'm going to take this one first. I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals, and they're 1-15 on the road in 2019. That's how much I don't believe in the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger is garbage. Najee Harris had a good game last week. First week, garbage. Defense, garbage. I'm going Cincinnati Bengals. I think they have some real talent. I'm still a Joe Burrow stan. I'm going with the Bengals and Joey B.
And you know what's funny is I thought you would have let this charge off with this game, but since you didn't, I'm okay. And I knew that you was going to come up with some extra antics to go on with this game with Joey B and Jamar Chase and all of them. I understand it. I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals as well, because right now Steelers are not showing me anything. No, showing me any promising future for them. You know, Joe Hayden's out. Receiver Dante Johnson, I think he's dealing with the injury. Ben Roethlisberger is limping his way literally over each line on the field. It's just not looking good. I don't know why they haven't moved on from Ben Roethlisberger when you literally watch history go on and you see quarterbacks, even if they have a bad couple games, they're ready to get him out the next year, i.e. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, all of these guys, and they're moving on from him, but they can't seem to move on from Ben Roethlisberger, which I think that there might be something bigger going on between those group of people and that front office and him. But I'm definitely going with Cincinnati in that game.
I think it's a family thing. I think the Rooney family's just too tied to Ben Roethlisberger to let him go. But yeah, do what you gotta do, i.e. Kraft and Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Next game, Browns, Bears. 1 o'clock football. Justin Fields makes his first official NFL start. I'm going to go with the Browns here. I don't really trust rookie quarterbacks at all, especially with a talented defense like Cleveland. And the run game for Cleveland is just out of control right now, and that's really the weakness of the Chicago defense right now. They're great against the pass right now. I don't really think they're great against the rush. I'm going to go with Nick Chubb. I'm going to go with Kareem Hunt. I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I hear you. It makes sense, but I think I might be going with Chicago on this one. I think Justin Fields has an average game. By no stretch of the imagination, I don't think that he's going to be able to with his gameplay win the whole game for him. I think he's going to be really on the defense and a couple plays here and there from Justin Fields' talent that he has out there on the field. So I'm gonna go with Chicago.
Okay, fair enough. Next game on the docket, the Ravens and the Lions. This shouldn't be a conversation. I'm going with Baltimore Ravens.
Baltimore, yeah.
No, we'll keep that short and sweet.
Yeah,
Cardinals, Jaguars.
Hold on.
Cardinals, Jaguars, also a very similar conversation, I think, in my mind. Kyler Murray's playing unbelievable football right now. I talked about this on the social media for Stafford and Matthews on Instagram the other day as well. There was news going around that Kyler Murray is somehow supplanting Russell Wilson as a better quarterback. And if it's in my archives on Instagram if you want to check that out, but I'll say it again. Kyler Murray is a great talent. Phenomenal talent even. But he fades. Every year we've seen him so far, he starts out hot out of the gate and then fades as the playoffs actually come and start to matter. When games need to be won and there aren't won because he's starting to fade. He was the MVP favorite up until like week 8 last year and just lost it. He can't do it. He can't do it over a sustained period of time. Until he can prove he has the consistency to go the distance or at least go to the playoffs and have some success, Russell Wilson will have his number. Russ is a top 5 quarterback in the league. Do not compare Kyler Murray to Russell Wilson. It's not a comparison. That being said, he's still playing great football. I'm taking the Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray over the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And you know, I really want. I'm with you on the Kyler Murray train of he fades out after a while, and I kind of want to say this is going to be the game. I think it's going to happen even earlier with so much success. He's so young. I don't know if there's anybody around him that's going to help him keep him on track outside of his coaches. Like who is in his house that's going to help him stay on track and keep that edge on how great that he's playing, because after a while, everybody gets it when they feel like they're doing so good and they can do whatever they want, that they start slacking a little bit and, you know, try to let their game win out. And that don't necessarily happens all the time. So I don't know. I wish the Cardinals was going up against a different team. Not to say that I want to see Kyler Murray lose, but just because I know that at one point in time, this might happen of him fading out and it might be another team. But I don't think the Jacksonville Jaguars will have, I mean, even with Kyler Murray's digressing, they would have enough to beat the Cardinals. So I'm going to go with the Cardinals.
Okay. 1 o'clock football, the last game of the week for 1 o'clock Sunday, the Washington football team versus the Buffalo Bills. And with Fitzpatrick out, that's a horrible storyline lost because we've come back to Buffalo in Buffalo for the first time in a while. That would be awesome to see. Like Fitzpatrick's a very popular man in Buffalo. His favorite city to play in. He was on record saying over his 9 teams tenure, he loved Buffalo most. It would have been cool to see. Regardless, I think Taylor Heineke has a decent game, but I'm not betting against Buffalo at home. Bills Mafia is too strong. I'm going with Buffalo Bills.
Absolutely. I think I want to say it. I want to say Buffalo as well, but that defense, man, I don't know. But Josh Allen has not been particularly great against defenses who have a really good D line, and we all know that Chase Young is that guy, and his company is coming up behind him. Might be a little bit serious. So I don't know. This is actually one of the harder games to pick off of, but I'm going with Washington. I'm gonna go out on a limb and go with Washington. I feel like J.D. McKisson is doing a great job at the running back stage, and Antonio Gibson is also doing good. I know he's limited in practice right now, but I'm more than sure he's going to be able to come back and continue on playing the way he's playing. He's playing phenomenal. And Scary Terry, there's another guy who I don't think anybody, honestly, and they have, and Buffalo has great DBs out there, but I don't think any of them can really guard Terry McLaurin. So I'm going to go with Washington on this. I'm going to go out on a limb and go out with Washington.
Very few people can guard Terry McLaurin, but if there was a couple guys in the NFL that could do it, Trey White's up there to do it. So it should be it would be a good battle.
Yeah. I still though I think you can be really good, but there's still levels of being good. Like
that's true. That's a good point. That's a good point. All right, we do rapid fire because I haven't Simon due in like an hour. I haven't started yet, so we gotta move on. Joey, dedicated student, gotta love it. All right, Jets Broncos. This is not even a discussion. I'm going with the Broncos.
Yeah, Broncos.
Dolphins Raiders 405.
I'm going with the Raiders. Raiders is looking amazing right now, and the Dolphins they're just in the way right now.
And Tua is out this week, so I'm going with the Raiders too. Tua is out for a while, I think. So I'm going with the Raiders here. This is my game of the week: Bucks Rams. Brady Stafford in LA. That's an awesome game to watch. I am planting myself on the couch and not taking my ass off of it until this game's over. That's going to be a great Sunday football game to watch. That being said, I'm going with the LA Rams. I'm going against Tom Brady because it's home. It's time for Matt Stafford to assert his dominance over the rest of the NFC. I'm going with the LA Rams.
Timestamp that. I want you to timestamp so I can save it, and I'm gonna personally send it to Tom Brady's Instagram as soon as we get this recorded, so I can let him know his biggest fan turned on him and said that he couldn't get it done just because of the little old Rams. But I'm with you though, Joe. I'm going with the Rams as well because I think that Aaron Rodgers is going to lay a new hole in his ass.
That's an interesting metaphor. I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah, well, look, you
didn't
start
sound
using
good.
it. See it.
It didn't sound good. I'll tell you that. Did not sound good. Did not like the sound of that. All right, Seahawks Vikings. So being the man who I am and being a man of principle and honor, I cannot in good conscience give a vote for Kirk Cousins. So I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks.
Injury list, though. Injury list is pretty big. I don't know, man. Damn. Because I mean, I don't know, Joe. Can I come back to that one?
Flip a coin.
I mean, all right, man. I'm going with Seahawks. I mean,
go with the helmet behind you.
I tell you what, I'm not going to go against somebody who I've been rooting for my whole career, like you just did with Tom Brady. So I'm just going to go with the Seahawks, and if we lose, then we just lose. I'm going to say in the back of my mind off camera that I knew that the Minnesota was going to win.
Just the most unnecessary jab at me, like the most unnecessary out of the way, like slip in there.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a fun game for you. Packers 49ers. Packers.
All right, come on now, Joe. 49ers. Let's keep it pushing. I don't even want to start with that because we're going to have a whole nother hour on this show.
Fine. Eagles Cowboys. Actually a phenomenal game. It's in Dallas, and that's the only reason I'm going against Philadelphia. I'm going with Dallas because of the fact
it's a Tuesday night game?
No, it's Monday.
Monday?
Yeah.
Oh, they got it wrong on this website. It says Tuesday.
I'm going with Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm going with Dallas as well. Eagles, they just don't, they got manhandled by my team, and it almost made me feel sad because a lot of my friends, they're Eagles fans, and I didn't want to have to do it to them, but we did it to them. And so I think they're going to be hurt when they go in here against Dak Prescott, because Dak Prescott and the Cowboys, they're not playing right now. They're throwing up numbers. And I think this is going to be another high-scoring game for Dallas because they're throwing the ball so much and Ezekiel Elliott is sucking so much right now, which actually, next show we probably should get into that.
We
a
need
little
to
bit
get into that.
more about Ezekiel Elliott because let's just say that for another one. I really got
Chris,
a lot.
You know what to do after this? I want you to rant on our Instagram about it.
I got you.
Let's do that. Let's do that. But yeah, we haven't seen a Jalen Hurts Dak Prescott duel ever because Hurts came in when Dak was kind of hurt. It wasn't really there yet. So I want to see them duel it out in Monday Night Football. That's gonna be good for the game. I like that a lot. Okay, that wraps up Stafford and Matthews episode 33. We'll see you guys next time. Make sure to check out our website, staffordandmatthews.com. When it drops, we will make sure we notify you guys both on an actual podcast and on all of our social media. Follow Stafford and Matthews on Instagram and TikTok. That's all, boys. We'll see you guys next time.